Hello friends, how are you all? Today I will talking to you about how does maritime law provide for hard workers. So let's get started. Maritime law provider for hard workers. Without maritime law, injured seamen would be left on their own to counteract the suffering they sustained while working. Anytime a ship employee becomes injured sick, the vessel owner is required to reimburse their losses. Maritime law refers to this reimbursement as maintenance and cure, meaning that until the seaman fully recovers, the employers must provide for their eviction. The courts views this obligation as an unquestionable duty that the ship owner is any seaman aboard their vessel. Seamen are also liable for to recover full wages for the length of the voyage during which they sustained injuries or illness. An employment contract may dictate the amount of unearned wages seamen can receive. Provision for maintenance and cure. Maintenance and cure refer to the benefit seaman is entitled to until she recovers and is fit for duty. However, there is a maximum medical improvement limit that can control the amount of compensation received, because many ship owners are loath to pay the highest amount possible. They either flow old rates from $15 to $35 a day, or regulate cure benefits by and picking covered medical treatments. The U.S. Supreme Court states the duty to provide uh, maintenance and cure must be broad and inclusive, because in the case of compensation, the seaman is almost always favored when skepticism is involved. Catastrophic maritime injuries. In some instances, an offshore accident can cause injuries that are so serious because that the change a person's life permanently. These types of injuries are so notorious that the medical and legal community has a word for them. Catastrophic injuries. When a person has this type of offshore injuries, their injuries will likely impact the rest of their life. In some instances, certain injuries mean that a person won't be the person won't be able to earn with living with them physical work as they once did not. In the other cases, it means that every aspect of a person's life impacted by the severity of their injuries. Serious maritime injuries that change living includes, for example, traumatic brain injuries, uh, spinal cord injuries, paralysis, amputation, burn injuries, crash injuries. After this episode require a lifetime of medical care. When workers are suffering from accident they did not cause, they deserve compensation for the care that will make their life as comfortable as possible. Maritime burn injuries. One of the most catastrophic injuries that can occur in a maritime accident is a burn injury. If you suffered a burn injury during a maritime accident, it is vital to contact a top-rated Houston Maritime burn injury lawyer as quickly as possible. Arnold and Itkin LLP has been helped hundreds of injured seamen advocate for their rights, including those who have suffered serious burn injuries while working offshore. Experienced maritime workers know that fires ignite in most offshore environments because these incidents can lead to burn injuries. Common causes of offshore burn injuries include contact with hazardous chemicals, highly flammable chemicals can cause hurt burns, electrical accidents, fault or improperly handled electrical equipment can spark a fire, engine room fires, malfunction in engine room can cause an explosion or fire, equipment malfunctions. Hazardous or defective equipment can cause a fire, explosions caused by highly flammable chemical used for a vessel or on board equipment because the types of burn injuries maritime worker experience. Now I will discuss about types of injuries a maritime worker experience. Here we can see that there are several degrees of burn injuries depending on the severity of the burn. Burn injuries can be caused by extremely heat, electricity, chemicals, uh, radiation, or friction. Any of these burn hazard and present on seafaring vessels of offshore rigs. Burn injuries can range from mild to life-altering burns, including first degree burns. This is usually a surface burn that does not necessarily require medical attention, but may cause irritation and pain. Second degree burns. This is a more severe burn that may cause blisters and may extend below the surface. Because healing can take a few weeks. Third and fourth degree burns. These are most serious burns injuries because they extend through the entire layer of tissues that lies below the surface. These layers contain structures such as nerve ending, sweat glands, hair follicles, and blood capillaries. These burn injuries are much more severe and will require a longer healing process and more medical attention. Now, serious burn injury complications. Serious burn injury complication is severe burn injuries can lead to serious complication if not treated properly. Third or fourth degree burns complications include hypothermia resulting from the loss of the body due to the damaged skin, hypovolemia from damaged blood vessel causing your body to lost blood and other fluids. Infection resulting from the lack of protective barriers due to the damaged skin. Joint difficulties can result from the build up to of scar tissue. Sepsis can result from infection. This life threatening condition. Hospitalization cost for catastrophic events can run into the six-figure range. This is why it is vital to contact an attorney as soon as possible to recover financial compensation for your injuries. Because suffering these injuries without support can destabilize your future. And the sooner you get in contact with a maritime burn injury lawyer, the better your chance of achieving the best possible outcome your case. Houston Maritime brain injuries attorneys. Head injuries occurs frequently in the maritime industry. This is depending on the severity of the injury. Lifelong treatment may be needed, but in many cases it may seem as though cases could have not been prevented in reality. Many brain injury accidents could have been prevented with the proper precautions. If that's the case, you may be able to file a claim under the Jones Act. Uh, some of the most common uh, causes of brain injuries include: number one, broken equipment; number two, conveyor belt accidents; number three, crane and cargo accidents; number four, improper safety guidelines or training; number five, improperly stored equipment; number six, lack of safety equipment; number seven, poor ship maintenance; number eight, sleep and fall accidents. That is types of brain injuries and common symptoms. When a maritime worker suffers a head injuries, it's one of two types of closed head injury and open head injury. A closed head injury is when an injury does not cause the skull to be broken, fractured, or pierced. An open head injury is when the skull is pierced or fractured. Although open head injuries may seem more severe, closed head injuries are difficult to diagnose and can require extensive treatment. Common symptoms of brain injuries includes, for example, the number one, cognitive damage. That's for memory loss, trouble with concentration and attention. Number two, sensory symptoms. That's for loss of vision, hearing loss, or loss of taste for smell. Physical symptoms: seizures, headaches, paralysis, insomnia, chronic pain, or language difficulties. Behavioral or emotional symptoms: irritability, anger, depression, and dramatic mood swings. Any level of brain damage can be a serious impact on an employee's daily life, altering their personality and their ability to make a living. When a brain injury happens because an employer or co-worker was negligent, it's vital for injured people to hold at fault parties accountable for their own sake, the sake of their employees, and the sake of the loved ones they support. Maritime amputation injuries lawyers. Although not all maritime injuries are caused by negligence, amputation injuries often are. If an employer or vessel owner fails to maintain equipment, train the crew, or create a safe work environment. It can cause serious injuries that require amputations. Some of these accidents may be caused due to the flying, unsecured cargo, navigation collisions, lack of safety equipment training, defective and malfunctioning equipment. That it's vital to work with equipment and machinery that is regularly maintained so that it working correctly. It's the employer's responsibility to ensure that workers are properly trained to use their equipment. If your employer has not met this standard and you lost a limb as a result, he or she was negligent and should be held accountable. Amputation treatment. Surgery is required to treat a loss of a limb or to amputable a limb. Once you have had surgery, you may still need extensive physical and emotional therapy to help you adjust to the new reality of missing a limb or using a prosthetic limb. This payment cost can be difficult for an injured maritime worker to handle, especially while supporting a family. Our firm often has to help our clients rebuild their financial security in the wake of costly medical treatments. This is why it is vital to contact a maritime amputation injury attorney as soon as possible. How to recovering compensation for amputation injuries. If you suffered severe injuries in a maritime accident that required amputation, if you have the right to receive compensation. Limb loss is a uh, financially costly loss. Patients face treatment costs for the rest of their lives. Under maritime law, you have several avenues for recovering damages, especially if negligence is involved. Since maritime law is different from laws on land, it is vital to contact an experienced maritime amputation injury attorney as soon as possible to help you receive the best possible results for your case. Thank you.